Like, it's just like so sad to see, because her mom really loves her. Like, well, okay, her mom really cares about her, right? In feeling. She cares about her in feeling and in action. There's times we've seen her truly stand up for her, be fiercely protective of her and Austin, right? But then there's other times where, like, she falls so completely short of it, right? Like, when her and the dad end up sleeping together again, when Ginny's like, that's the one thing I ask you not to do. She literally told her dad, remember, like, they went to, like, the poetry night, like, the slam poetry, and she's like, please stay. She's like, Dad, please stay this time. You know how it is. And he tried to brush it off. He'd be like, oh, what do you mean? Like, and she's like, no, Dad, like, right? It's almost like when she says, like, she knows he hardly stays for any time, and she's like, Dad, come on, like, be so for real right now. I want you to actually stay this time. Be a responsible adult. Make good decisions. Don't just sleep with Mom and then just end up leaving again, right? Like, she loves her parents, right? She loves each of them, and she wants them to be there for her, but it's like, and they are to an extent, right? To an extent, we can say that. However, it's like, where she actually needs them, it falls short so drastically. Like, for example, her dad is hardly there, right? But when he does visit, he does pay attention to her. You know, like, he said, what do you really want to write in your essay? You know, he really, really gets her, like, creative side, outspoken side, the side that can really critically analyze things and express them properly and directly and incisively and really, like, sharply, right? Anyway, he really helped her with that, the whole essay thing. But then again, he went and go slept with her mom. And then she's like, bro, it's like the one thing I ask you not to do. She just wants stability and people who hear her and stop lying to her and stop acting like what she says isn't true. Because yes, yes, she just say things that are very, is it called incisive? You know, things that like cut, you know, like things that like pa, 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 like that. She does say things like that. However, none of it is untrue. Like, when she makes observations, when she does critiques, when she's like even mean to her mom, like, none of it is actually untrue. That's the part where you can't fault her. Like, when she tells her mom, like, stop lying to me. It's like, it's true. And we know why she's lying, right? She want to protect her daughter from her past. But at the same time, it's like, the daughter doesn't even know what you're protecting her from. That's why she's like, can't handle it. Like, that's why it's all going down the drain, because if you at least give her some context, you don't owe her details, absolutely not. And I'm not a parent, but like, she's old enough to know at least, like, context, at least know why, at least know some reasons, because it helps her understand you, right? It helps her understand her mom instead of just having to blindly trust her on things. And the daughter knows she can't trust her mom because she don't even know the situation. She don't even tell the situation in the first place. And she will bring up things that she's concerned about, like her little brother's behavior, like at school, like when he got back at that kid for bullying him. She'll express concern about it, but what was I gonna say? Like, her mom doesn't want to, like, you know, talk about anything real. And Ginny says that, like, please just talk about something real. When I ask a question, can you answer me, right? She's not asking for all the details. She just want to know what's going on, like, basic level in her own home, you know? So that she can feel safe and secure, so that she can have something stable to hold on to. And although the mom says, you know, like, I love Ginny more than anything in the world, and I'll do anything for her, even though that's true, it's all just falling to S-H-I-T. Because, like, it's like the way that she's going about it, and not even that it's wrong. She's doing everything that she can, really. Like, it's just that the way that she goes about it, like the way that her mom goes about it, you know, what we say, protecting her daughter, it just all devolves so quickly. Like, it doesn't matter, bro, you have good intentions. We still gotta acknowledge that everything is just devolving. It started here and it's going downhill real fast. So it's like, and her dad is finally in town, like, finally some kind of support, finally someone who gets her, finally someone who, like Ginny says, balances out her mom, right? Because, like, that's another thing that's super important, is that, like, the parents, you're right, their personalities do, like, balance each other. He's more mellow and free-spirited, whereas Georgia is like how he says, at least in the dad's words, like she gotta control everything, blah blah blah, right? And not to say it's anyway, like we know. Anyway, just let me not over explain things. But Ginny is right that when she has the two of them there, they balance each other out, they mellow each other out, versus her just having to deal with her mom on her own is hard when they don't have her dad as like a balancing force, right? Or to help them communicate better, or just whatever it is, you get it. It is really important that she has both of them to balance each other out. And then so then when like all these things happen with her boyfriend, with her friends, like she just needs somebody to actually be there for her when she needs them. And it's not like she never asks for help, because she does. Like it's not like she never expresses her opinions or uses her voice. It's that when she does, like when she asks her mom things, when she confronts her about things, she doesn't like it never goes anywhere. Like, you know, she doesn't like listen in the sense that she doesn't reciprocate her daughter's honesty. Like, yes, under the layers of sarcasm and whatnot, or how she expressed it, the truth is still there. The truth of the matter is still there, no matter how she expressed it. Or like how the dad would say, oh, be respectful to your mom, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but that's not the problem, because, and we all know Georgia will be petty right back. She's petty right back. So it's like, this is just a problem where it's like, you gotta stop, if you really want to understand and resolve things, like stop looking at how the person is saying things and actually look at what they're saying. Because like I said, everything Ginny says is true. Like all the observations that she makes when she call people out, when she confront them, blah 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 blah, it's true. She don't pull things out of her ass, bro. She says things like they actually are. So when people make her think that she's dramatizing, whatever the word is, or exaggerating, or pulling it out of thin air, like it makes you feel like, what is going on? It makes you feel like you're crazy, right? It makes you feel like you're making things up. So no wonder her own mental health is just rapidly spiraling down the drain, because it's like you said, she finally has both her parents back, and I still can't show up with her because now they're too busy sleeping together. Oh my god, such a mess. And then the argument with her boyfriend, and then we'll get to that later. And then Marcus, when he comes in and he's like, I think he loved her or something like that. I'm like, bro, so now what she just saw with her parents, putting themselves before her needs, like putting their own wants before her needs. She was just asking them to like pick her one time, bro. Anyway, so then if a boy comes to her and says he loves her, how is she supposed to manage that? Because love for her is unpredictable, it's unstable, it makes people irresponsible, make bad decisions, like whatever you want to call it. Like love to Ginny, she never got to experience like love that's actually safe and secure and shows up for her and dependable for her, whatever you want, and reliable. So it's like she just had that kind of betrayal with her parents. I'm pissed off. I had to continue where I left off. But anyway, Anyway, what I was saying is, love for Ginny has never been like stable or secure or reliable. Just like we just saw with her parents. Like people consistently choose their wants over her needs. She just needed somebody to show up for her emotionally one time. I'm not saying they never did, but like, you know. Anyway, let me stop over explaining. So when this boy come in and say about he loves her, how is she supposed to handle that, bro? Of course she's just like, get out of here, right? Because love is not something that's even safer. It's just something that makes you irresponsible, make bad decisions, all that kind of stuff. And as for the argument with her boyfriend, it's like, it's not a competition. You two being minorities, both being socially oppressed, blah, blah, blah. It's not a competition, but you have to understand the issue started with her being a black girl in a white environment. And you have to acknowledge that the guy was biased against her because of her race. That's it. That's all she needed, is to say, yeah, you're not making it up. Yeah, your essay was great. Yeah, you should have won. You're super talented. And yeah, he's racist. That's all she needed to hear. But instead of that, people leveling with her, the boy's like, oh, do you know what it's like for me? I'm half Taiwanese. I'm like, okay, but that's not the same thing as her being half black. It's not the same thing. He is white, Taiwanese, and a man. She is black, white, and a woman. Let me say in a different order. She's white, black, and a woman, right? So she's literally at the bottom and he's up here near the top. It's just not the same. And I hate to see when it's like black women bring their issues forward, or black characters. But you know, it's representative. Black women or black characters bring the issues forward, and then somehow it's made to be about somebody else. It started with her just needing validation that, yeah, you didn't make stuff up. Yeah, he's biased against you. And then it devolved into he's saying, well, I have it bad too. I'm mixed race too. Like, but that wasn't the point of the conversation, bro. She just needed you to be there for her emotionally. I don't care. I really don't care. Everybody, people just calling her rude is just another part of the problem, right? Instead of actually listening to what the girl is saying, really listening, using your ears, and knowing what the problem actually is, it's easier to just dismiss the girl as rude. That's it. It's literally what she told him. She said because she's a black woman, she must be angry or aggressive and all those kind of things. All she's doing is having energy and courage to express her opinion. That's literally it. But that in itself is a threat to people. Because she's actually right. Like I said, nothing she ever said was pulled out of her ass, bro. Everything she says is real life patterns, observations. And she sees things with a critical eye, critical analysis, bro. Her own original thoughts in her brain based on what's happening. Everything she says is credible and true. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I agree with that boy, because I don't. And it's also another reason why interracial relationships can be so difficult. Like, it's not a competition, bro. Like, you have to understand where you are on the ladder. Because he's up here, bro. He's up here. She's, like, near the very bottom. Because if she was fully black, if both her parents were black, she would be at the bottom. Right? Black and a woman versus white and a man. Yeah, and like, we know that the parents aren't showing up for her the way they should because they all have their own stuff going on that they haven't healed from. We know that. However, it's like the fallout is still there, bro. The fallout is still there. She's still struggling immensely with no one to really help her through it. No one to really hold her through it. You know, like when she needs them. Her mom cares. She checks in on her and blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. But she's still not showing up in the way that she needs her. And it's like really sad. It's just really sad. Because no amount of love and care in the world can make you show up for people right. Like, can make you show up for them properly. Her mom loves her. Her mom cares about her. Like I said, in feeling. But she's not able to show up for her daughter in the way that she needs. So that's why it was really helpful for her to have her dad there, because the bridge was gapped. Because the gap was bridged a little bit, because he inherently understands her, like her love of writing, speaking, expressing her ideas, and all that stuff. So, but then, you know, that went down the drain too. So, yeah. Really feel for her character and wish that she had the support that she needs. She's not asking for anything big, bro. She's just asking for people to care about what she has to say. And for people to see her. Kind of like, you know what, the way that boy Marcus does. Right. And teenagers can do a better job than what parents do. But, you know. I don't have a solution to this. It's just, yeah. So disappointed when Ginny argued with, what's his name, Hunter? Right, she argued with him about how he won the essay contest, right, and how the professor is racially biased and blah, 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 prejudiced against her. And, like, he doesn't understand that, like, he will never understand her experience as a black girl. Like, he just will never understand. But what's worse is he didn't even try to. He just automatically made it about his own experience. Instead of actually listening to the words she was saying, he jumped in with his ego and he's like, oh, you don't think I have it bad? I have it bad too. How about that? When she really just needed him to like listen to her as a human being and like physically hear what she's saying. It's like that song when they're like, nobody's listening to me. Like it's literally the lines exactly in that song when it's like, anyone please send me anyone. That song, it's exactly that song is what she's going through, because ain't not one person, except maybe Marcus, right, actually listening to what she's saying. Like, it's so bad for her. Like, it's so sad for her to be dismissed in that way and like made to feel like she's just saying things just to say things, or saying things just to hurt someone or to insult them or hurt their feelings. She never does it. Everything she says is founded in truth, even if it hurts when she says it, even if it stings, even if it feels like a slap to the face, bro. Everything she says is true, has truth in it, comes from somewhere. So do not tell this sharp-witted, inquisitive, like, how do you say it, like, just so supremely intelligent girl. Do not look at her and tell her she's making stuff up, because she's not. Yeah, like, that's why, like, it just like erodes away at her self-esteem or how much people care about her, right? Like, that's like I'm lucky. Like, I'm glad she has Max. I'm glad she has her friend, but you know, that can only do so much when, you know, she's been with her mom this whole time, and she, anyway, just, it's just really sad that people haven't been there for her in the way that she needs, and not with any fault of her own. It just shows you that if people listen more with their actual ears and less with their ego, we would actually get things done, and we would actually be showing up for the people that need us. Yeah, like, you know, like, instead of her and her mom like arguing and then her mom being petty right back, it's like, wait, if you actually took the time to see what your daughter is saying, we'd figure this out. But then Georgia has completely her own stuff going on, and we know why she doesn't listen to her daughter. We know why it's easier to just be petty back, to just like say an insult back or whatever, or laugh it off, or just not even acknowledge that whatever topic her daughter brought up in the first place, right? So we know why. But it doesn't make it any better, because your girl is just out here suffering with like no one to actually help her. And then the one who actually does, that boy Marcus, who actually does listen to her feelings, blah blah blah, it's like she can't even trust him now, because her, like we said, her template, like her idea of love, is already screwed up in the first place from her mom and her parents. So it's like, bro, wait, she finally found someone who actually is safe with her, besides him being messy. Can't even trust that. Can't even lean on him, who actually is good for her emotionally. And it's so funny, it's so messed up, because it turns out the guy who actually is right for her emotionally and who will validate her experience is the same guy who says, I don't do girlfriends, I don't do the girlfriend thing, da, da, da. I'm like, well, you lost her right there. He lost her right there, and she went to the next one, right? You know, which is good of her. It shows she values herself. But at the same time, with the other guy, I feel like she was just settling so bad. Like, she cannot be with some sweet boy, right? Well, like, he can't be only sweet. She and her mom, they need people with backbone who can handle real life stuff, like real life stuff, who you can actually, I don't know what the comparison is, but like actually survive stuff with, and they will actually have your back, right? Not the boy who's like does cute things for her, like, because he does. Her boyfriend does do cute things for her, but like, he's just not it. There's no other way to say it. He's just not it for her. He's not the kind of person that she actually needs in her life, who can actually like fill that hole for her, feel like the hole, like the gap of what wasn't given to her and what she actually needs, right? Like, he's sweet and all, but he can't do that. The other boy can do it. He's actually equipped to do that. But, you know, yeah. It's such a mismatch, and it sucks, you know. I hope, well, I mean, obviously I haven't watched the whole thing, but I hope they get to be together at some point. Because they actually match each other well. Yeah. You can't just look for sweetness. You have to look for substance, bro. Her and the other boy, the sweet boy, they just not a match. They just not a match. And he proved it by that argument, bro. He proved it by that. By making it more about his own experience. I'm sorry, it's like you dropped the ball, right? He dropped the ball, and people been dropping the ball with her entire life, which sucks. That's not even an adequate way to represent it, but yeah. And people don't understand too that, like, hopefully, if just to make sure in case I didn't mention it, that her argument with her boyfriend wasn't about that isolated incident. I think I mentioned it wasn't an isolated incident. It was reflective of how she'd been treated by the professor the entire school year. He refused to even say her name properly. In the beginning of the year, like the first day she was there, she was like, it's Ginny, it's Ginny, it's Ginny. And he kept calling her Virginia. And she was like, no, it's Ginny. And he wouldn't listen to her. I'm like, do you understand? That's disrespectful. Do you think if she had some name like Sarah, he wouldn't have gotten it right the very first time? So, all she needs is someone to be like, yeah, you didn't make that up. He's racist. Or, yeah, you didn't make that up. That's microaggressive. Yeah, you didn't make that up. That's prejudice, whatever you want to call it, bro. It doesn't matter, really. She just needs someone to validate her experience. Instead of her making her think that she's pulling all this stuff out of thin air. Because she's not. One more thing. Yep, that's how you ruin people, bro. That's how you ruin people who have good hearts. You do that over and over again. Eventually, the heart, if it was a flower, it dies. Boom. Because it ain't had no water. And so she was never mean. She was never actually a mean kid. Ever. She was never actually mean. People make her out to be. And then when people treat you like that. Anyway, just to end it here. Anyway. She was never a mean person. She never had, like, she's never someone who you would say, like, has a bad, who's mean at heart. She's not. People just completely missing the point. Like, my God. And even, like, on Marcus's side, it's heartbreaking for him because he's just trying to say, like, I care about you. I'm here for you. Like, I want to help. I want to listen. And she's just like, get out. So it's like, oh my God, it's just sad. Like, you know, all around, like, when the person who's here for who finally can, like, you know, love her properly in the way that she needs, in the way that she deserves, she cannot receive him, you know? Anyway, yeah, it's heartbreaking, to say the least, bruh.